Have you ever noticed it's always the Russians? Every decade, every generation, there's another headline, another conflict, another war. Chechnya, Georgia, Crimea, Syria, Ukraine. If it's not boots on the ground, it's a cyber attack, a gas shutoff, or a threat to the West. So you start to wonder, why is Russia always in turmoil? Is it the people, the politics, or something deeper, like inherited fear? Let's rewind, because to understand modern Russia, you have to start with something older than communism, older than Putin. You have to start with geography. Russia is big, massive, but defensively, it's naked. No oceans, no mountains, just flat land from Poland to the Pacific. Historically, that meant one thing: invasion. The Mongols burned Moscow. The Swedes, the French, the Germans, they all marched in. Hitler alone left behind 27 million Russian dead. To put that in perspective, the U.S. lost 400,000 in the same war. That kind of loss doesn't just hurt. It scars a civilization. It tells you, don't trust outsiders. Build walls, stockpile weapons, stay strong. And if they don't attack you this time, attack first. It's a survival instinct dressed up as patriotism. But there's more. When the Tsars fell in 1917, Russia didn't become a democracy. It became the Soviet Union, the world's largest forced experiment in centralized power. And when that collapsed in 1991, they didn't rebuild from freedom. They rebuilt from trauma. People remember the 1990s not as liberation, but as chaos, hyperinflation, mafia wars, starving pensioners. Life expectancy for Russian men? It dropped below 59. So when Putin came along and promised order, even if it came with fear, people clapped. But fear doesn't just stay political. It becomes cultural. The Russian Orthodox Church teaches that suffering purifies the soul. The literature romanticizes pain. Pushkin, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Solzhenitsyn. They don't tell happy stories. They tell survival stories. You see, in the West, we're taught to chase happiness. In Russia, you're taught to endure. And if the system hurts you, you must be doing something right. This is how conflict becomes sacred. It's not just war, it's holy struggle. In fact, modern Russia blends faith with firepower. When Russian tanks roll into Ukraine, they're blessed by Orthodox priests. The war is called a spiritual battle against Western corruption. The church supports the military. The military protects the church. And both answer to the same strongman. That's not religion. That's state-sponsored mysticism. And when you question it, you're not just unpatriotic, you're unholy. But that fusion of church, state, and war isn't ancient. It's strategic. Because power in Russia isn't based on prosperity. It's based on pain. Putin doesn't promise a better life. He promises survival, strength, identity. And in a place where suffering is sacred, that's enough. Here's another reason why Russia keeps choosing conflict. The empire never really ended. In 1917, the Tsars lost power. In 1991, the Soviets lost theirs. But the idea of Russia, big, feared, untouchable, never went away. It just put on a new suit. Ask the people of Chechnya. Ask Georgia. Ask Crimea. Ask Ukraine. Every time Russia shrinks, it claws something back. Because empire isn't just territory, it's ego. And Putin? He doesn't govern a country. He curates a myth that says, we are surrounded, we are righteous, and only a strong hand keeps the wolves away. The truth? Russia isn't always under attack, but its government needs people to believe it is, because scared citizens are easier to control. Which brings us to now. The war in Ukraine has cost Russia over 300 to 50,000 casualties by Western estimates. The ruble has collapsed, foreign investors are gone, and over 1.3 million Russians have fled since the invasion. So why keep fighting? Because stopping would mean facing something more terrifying than NATO. Accountability. Admitting failure, admitting weakness, admitting the pain wasn't worth it. And for a system built on strength and suffering, that's unthinkable. So here's the real question. What happens when a country only knows how to fight, even when it's losing? Do the people rise up and change the story? Or does the story swallow the people whole? Thanks for checking out my channel. It's called Think Again. It's all about rethinking what we've been told. Don't just scroll. Let's hear from you. Why do you think Russia always chooses conflict? Let's keep the conversation going. Conversation equals action.